Hello guys, your Jasmine Venus is back with these two gigantic creations in the world, only here from Russia with love. Let's start with this extraordinary large bell. This is one of the famous tourist attractions within the Red Walls where the Kremlin Palace is located, along with several cathedrals and museums. It is called Tsar Bell. It is more than 6 meters tall with 6.6 meters in diameter, made it become the largest bell in the world, weighing almost 202 tons. Wow, extremely heavy. So imagine that, guys, in kilograms. It's about 202,000 kilograms. Wow. What did you know? This is the third Tsar Bell that Russia's made. The first bell just weighed 18 tons, but had required 24 men to ring its calibre. Oh, how much more with the second one, which was much larger than the first, weighed 100 tons. And I can imagine with the third bell, which is the largest among the three, and as I have mentioned, weighing about 202 tons. Well, guys, let's find out. The history of the Tsar Bells is full of misfortunes. The first and the second were both casted in 16th century and had worked successfully. The bell rang occasionally to announce important ceremonies, celebrations, and as an alarm in case of fire or enemy attack. But unfortunately, they were both destroyed by fire. The third bell has the most disastrous encounters among the three. The first master who started casting it didn't take the job seriously. That led them to find another master. When it was in its casting period, in any circumstance, it caught fire, and later the master died in great desperation. The master's son continued the job and finally casted the bell successfully. It was raised in a wooden support structure just above the casting pit for cooling and adding of some ornaments. But before the ornamentation was completed in 1737, a fire happened at Kremlin that caused several cracks on the bell, including this huge slab that had broke off, weighing about 11 tons. Oh, it happened during extinguishing when they'd thrown cool water to protect the bell from fire. The wooden support structure was burned out, and the bell fell into its original casting pit and remained there for about a century. Oh, it seemed that the fire brought the bell to miserable fate. Several attempts to raise it were made, but were failed, until in 1836, with a special equipment, they successfully raised and placed it on a stone pedestal with its broken slab right in front, close to its breakage opening. The bell was served as a chapel for a time, entering and exiting through the broken area. But as today, it is closed with a metal screen to prevent anyone from entering. Since it was damaged before it was totally furnished, it had never been run. And of course, it will never be. Yes, that's the saddest part. While there is a Russian belief that the bell's sound will be heard during the last judgment day. Okay guys, enough for the Tsar Bell. Let's go to this extremely huge bombard cannon with its gigantic cannonballs. It is a place not far from where the Tsar Bell is, and like the giant bell, it is also a major tourist attraction inside the Kremlin vicinity. It is the largest cannon by caliber in the world, bearing 890 mm caliber with external diameter of 1200 mm. It is casted in bronze in 1586. It weighs about 40 tons and has a length of about 18 feet. Originally, the cannon built without a gun carriage. It was mounted on a special frame and initially placed in red square for defense. Like as I have mentioned in my previous video, that a red square basically built up to create a shooting field for war. However, this giant bombard cannon was never used in a war, and seemed never been fired as well. So, in 1706, it was moved to the Kremlin arsenal, mounted on a wooden gun carriage. But unfortunately, in 1817, a huge fire broke out at Kremlin that burned out the wooden carriage, and they replaced it with an iron-casted one by 1835. In 1860, it was moved to its current location near the Tsar Bell, with its huge cannonballs. Placed right in front of it was approximately 1 ton each. These cannonballs was produced in 1834, but merely for decoration, because obviously they are too big for the cannon's caliber. Since the cannon is mounted in an iron-casted carriage, this disabled its main function as a powerful weapon. Or perhaps it wasn't really made for war, but maybe just to create a great impact to the world how powerful Russia is when it comes to military defense and industrial capability. For the theory that the cannon had never been fired, a study conducted by some specialists opposed to it, for they found an indication that the cannon had been fired at least once. Anyway, it doesn't matter if it had been fired or had never been. One thing is for sure, it was never used in a war. Well, let's end up this, guys. Today I'm so proud that I met the two giants in Kremlin, although they seemed sleeping giants. One never been run and the other never been used in a war, or perhaps never been shot. And did you know, guys, they have said that Napoleon Bonaparte, during his invasion in Moscow in 1812, considered moving the two masterpieces to France as a war trophies. Well, good thing, guys, it was not possible because of their extreme size and weight. Else I would never had a chance to meet these two Russia's gigantic creations. That's all for today, guys, and thank you so much for watching my video. If you haven't yet subscribed my channel, please hit the red subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Then, guys, this is your Jasmine Venus signing off from Russia.